Hi, I'm Delaney Harton, and I'm going to be doing prompt B for the Vinegar Tom video response. Something I first noticed that the director chose to do was the way they used body for storytelling, and this was very evident in the scenes of the witch trial when the girls being convicted of witches, their body is being held up by the other townspeople and their legs are being spread for the whole audience to see because they're being checked for their devil spots on the inside of their legs. And for me as an audience member, this kind of emphasized the story of the play by showing how inhumanely these girls were treated just because they were said to be witches by word of mouth. And it also made me realize how there must have been some sort of intimacy coach on set during these scenes because of the way their body is being handled by the other actors and how kind of personal they're opening up to the audience. And also, their body is being used in a physical way, as we see. And this physical way of using the body emphasizes how the girls have kind of a loss of power when they're being convicted of witches. It really shows how they go down in status compared to everyone else because they're just being manhandled by everybody else and they don't have a say in it. They're being restrained almost because they are seen kind of trying to fight their way out of it, but they can't because they're restrained by the power of the townspeople. And I also noticed in the beginning of the scene how they are lined up in the front of the stage sitting down and how a townsperson is sitting in a chair watching over them. And this reminded me of how we learned in class about reading bodies in space because I could see this scene when it first opened up and I could already sense the loss of power these girls had just by the way their bodies were set up without even hearing a dialogue at all. A second thing the director chose to do was how they used voice, and they used voice between scenes by having those musical moments. I wouldn't call Vinegar Tom a musical, but they definitely had many musical moments, and their one was classic rock musical or the rock musical moments because they used rock instruments and the way they were singing was a very rock genre. And I think the director chose this use of voice to show the power that the woman did have deep down that they couldn't show when they were being convicted of witches, but always in the musical parts, they would be kind of singing about how they're women and kind of singing about feminism in a way. And I love how they use voice spatially by every time there was music, they would take over the whole stage. There would be no other dialogue going on. It would just be the whole band on the stage representing the woman's voice that they had during the play.